Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into the new Mortal Kombat 1 DLC, Khaos Reigns. As a longtime Mortal Kombat fan, this series holds a special place in my heart. It was my gateway into gaming, and I have countless memories of playing with friends growing up. Before we begin this video about Khaos Reigns, if you haven't already played Mortal Kombat 1, then let me also share a little bit of a summary as to what happened in the base game, Mortal Kombat 1 that is. Now, the ending of Mortal Kombat 1 reveals a shocking twist. The mastermind behind Shang Tsung and Quan Chi is none other than Titan Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat 11's Aftermath DLC. This revelation has significant implications for the overall Mortal Kombat timeline, as it introduces the concept of multiple timelines and the potential for interdimensional conflict. The game concludes with a climactic battle between the Titans and combatants from various timelines. Liu Kang, the protagonist, ultimately defeats Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, saving his timeline from destruction. And there is a mid or a post-credit scene, you can say, where we see Havoc, a Titan from another timeline, emerge as a new threat. Havoc seeks to disrupt all timelines and has already taken steps to manipulate events in Liu Kang's timeline. This sets the stage for the Khaos Reigns DLC, which will explore Havoc's plans and the ongoing struggle for dominance across the multiverse. Khaos Reigns introduces three formidable new playable characters. Number one would be Noob Saibot, and then we have Cyrax and Sektor, female versions of Cyrax and Sektor. Now, each character brings their own unique fighting style and special abilities to the table. In addition to the new characters, this DLC also adds a new layer of gory spectacle with animalities. So each and every character now has a unique animality transformation, allowing for devastating fatalities and visual flair. The popular Kombat Kards system also returns, offering players the chance to earn rewards and customize their characters with various perks and enhancements. What Mortal Kombat has going for it has always been its story mode, because unlike any of the other fighting games like Tekken, Soul Calibur, or even Street Fighter, none of those games have a story mode which is as rich or has the production quality of Mortal Kombat's story mode. So, Mortal Kombat 11 and even Mortal Kombat 1 story mode was a highlight for me. In fact, the first half of Mortal Kombat 1 was really strong, and I think it was one of NetherRealm's best. I was hoping that the shortcomings of the second half of Mortal Kombat 1's story can now be fixed by the Khaos Reigns DLC. And I was really looking forward to this because the mid-credit scene did leave some kind of excitement in me. Now, I will admit that the DLC starts strong by focusing on the rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion. However, it quickly devolves into a multiverse-heavy plot similar to the more recent MCU movies and TV series. And that detracts from the grounded storytelling that MK required. Let me also tell you that the final act of this main campaign of this DLC, it just feels rushed and it overshadows the core narrative. In fact, by the end of it, I was thinking that there's something more. I mean, something more will come up on screen, but I was shocked to know that the game has ended. In fact, the campaign is only as long as, I think, 3 hours. I was able to complete it in, I think, 3 hours. And that is really short for a game that charges almost $35 here in India. So I paid 2,799 Indian rupees, which comes up to about 35 US dollars. Now, please note that I purchased Warhammer series, Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 for the same price. And that campaign lasted somewhere between 12 to 14 hours. So just imagine you're paying the same amount of money for a campaign which only lasts 3 hours. Now, there are other modes even in Space Marines too. So there are so many things that you can do with your friends if you want to play like a PvP mode that is available in Space Marines 2 as well. Now, that is just one example. In fact, a recent example. That's why I am actually talking about Space Marines 2. But the point that I want to make here is that from the price to value perspective, this will leave you wanting more. I mean, it will not satisfy your taste buds as far as the price to value goes, and you will feel like you have been cheated, because I think this DLC should have been charged at almost half of what it's currently charging. It's not worth it. If you really ask me, should you buy this right now? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right in the middle of this video that don't buy it right now. If you can wait for a sale, and only purchase it when it's heavily discounted, because I don't think it's worth that much right now. Now, I don't want this to be a ranting video of me ranting all the negative things about Mortal Kombat 1 Khaos Reigns DLC, but my expectations were really high going into this game. Now, I already made a video previously which spoke about has Mortal Kombat gone woke, because it now did a complete gender swap as far as Cyrax and Sektor go. Now, I have no problems with that. Let me tell you that if they even have female versions of, for instance, Johnny Cage or Liu Kang, I don't have a problem with it as long as there's a good story being told. If it services the overall narrative well, I have no issues with gender swapping. So let me just make that very clear. But here's the thing that I found problematic with the new gender swapped Cyrax and Sektor. There's hardly any depth to these characters, and the main narrative of this DLC focuses so much on Havoc that we have absolutely nothing on Cyrax and Sektor. In fact, you remember the previous games or the previous storylines where there was this heavy reliance on the cybernetic initialization of these robots, where they were literally turning human beings into robots without their consent. Now, that was cruel. And there was a strange bit of an emotional resonance there, because you had ninjas who were being converted into machines without their consent. So you immediately relate to those characters, and there is this depth. So you had Cyrax, who became a robot at the end of the day, but still had a human heart, if you know what I mean. So you see how it actually resonates with you. The story resonates with you. Now you have nothing like that out here. All you have is two gender swapped characters who now supposedly have this cool armor. That's it. And you can literally take that armor out anytime you want. So it's not like it's stuck to them. It's not like it's hard coded or anything like that. It's just something that you can immediately take off. So it's just armor. That's it. And they have gender swapped the characters. And for the sake of inclusivity, I believe Sektor is now an Asian female and Cyrax is an African female. So talk about DEI. Now, again, I have no issues. Let me make that very clear. I have no issues with characters being gender swapped as long as there is purpose, as long as it blends into the overall narrative and contributes to it. But here, again, I will stand by what I said in the previous video, where I said, do I think Mortal Kombat has gone woke? Maybe it's trying to service a specific niche audience, and I don't think it should go that way. It's not needed. I mean, they've built these lovable characters. I think it should be the way it is. But that's just my take, my 2 cents. What do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments section. Now that I have gone about ranting on all the negative things that I personally think Khaos Reigns have, let me also tell you a few things which are positive about it. I actually liked their take on Noob Saibot. In fact, I think they have managed to bring more depth to this character, because in the previous iterations of Noob Saibot, he was absolutely pure evil. I mean, he was a binary character. Pure evil. That's it. But here, you see some depth to this character. So you have Noob Saibot, who cannot actually get rid of what Havoc has done to him in this case. And he seems to be like this anti-hero in this game. Of course, he has all those issues that he had previously, and you cannot undo what he did in the previous game as far as story goes. So he's still a problematic character from the perspective of having a bad ego, bad temper, and being extremely selfish. All that stays in this game as well. But I think there is a sliver of hope, and why I say there is a sliver of hope is because the way they end Noob Saibot's story in this game is that it keeps it open and it keeps you wondering what's going to happen with this character when we have another Mortal Kombat game. Is he going to go and be the prick that he's always been in the previous iterations? Or is he going to become more like an anti hero with issues, of course? So, that aspect of Noob Saibot, in my personal opinion, was told well, and I think they did a better job here as far as Noob Saibot's story goes. Another big positive about Khaos Reigns would be the visuals, the voice acting, and the character performances. I mean, when it comes to the lip sync, I think the Injustice games and Mortal Kombat, they capture everybody's facial expressions, emotions really well. The voice acting is top notch, and I think MK has now peaked visually. Now I'm surprised that this still actually is running on the Unreal Engine 4 engine. This is not Unreal Engine 5, but you will be wondering whether they have actually used Unreal Engine 5 or not, because the visuals are so good. And again, I'm telling you, I think that MK1 has peaked in terms of visuals, and here it showcases how technology, when used properly, can still be great even if it's an old tech, because now most of the games are just deploying Unreal Engine 5. But I think Mortal Kombat 1 is a great reminder of technology being used wisely and efficiently. So technically, this game is a visual feast. When punches land, when there's spit coming out of people's mouth, the blood splatting across your screen, I mean, it is a gory feast. And everything comes together beautifully. The production value really shows. And I think they've spent a lot of time in developing this game. The costumes, the newer versions or variants of costumes that you can have, it's all really good. I mean, everything comes together seamlessly and beautifully. And I think the new levels also look absolutely great. I mean, there is this Citadel level, which is bonkers. I mean, they have done this really well as far as production quality goes. So kudos to them for that. While we're still on the topic of visual fidelity, I also want to specifically point out one scene where you get to see Tanya, at least a variant of Tanya, speak to a dragon. Yes, we've got dragons in Khaos Reigns as well. We've got a dragon called Orin, and the scene with Tanya and Orin, I mean, it's nothing short of watching a 3D movie like Avatar. I mean, the visuals in this particular or specific section of the game is outstanding. Let me know what you think about the quality. If you agree with me, please let me know in the comment section. I think this is where this game peaked. The interaction between Orin and Tanya is peak visuals when it comes to Khaos Reigns. The last thing I liked about Khaos Reigns is the take on Emperor Reign and Empress Tanya. I think this particular versions of these characters, they were really good, and this kind of shows as to what you can do with the variants, because this is a multiverse storyline or multiple timelines, in fact multiple universes, parallel universes. This shows how you can actually play with characters, and they have done a complete 360 as far as Emperor Reign goes. I'll just leave it at that because I want you to experience the game and find out why I'm saying what I'm saying. Please let me know if you agree with me on Emperor Reign and Empress Tanya's take as well or not. Apart from that, this is a very contained storyline. You only have limited characters, which I think is not bad because the story is very focused. I had hoped rather that there would be more characters. Unfortunately, we just have a handful of characters. Oh, by the way, I mean, I think There have been a lot of inspirations from pop culture, especially Marvel Cinematic Universe, because you even see this soldier version of Johnny Cage, and you will immediately have Captain America in your mind. I mean, again, please let me know whether you also feel the same or not, because the moment I saw Johnny Cage on screen, I said Captain America. And there are other inspirations also drawn from MCU, which you will obviously come across. And overall, I think it looks great visually. So that's always a big plus as far as a game like this goes. And finally, the gameplay. I mean, it's MK. If you have played Mortal Kombat 1, the gameplay elements remain the same movesets. Of course, you have animalities now, but apart from that, it's pretty much your complete MK experience. And this, I would say, is the best looking Mortal Kombat game so far. My personal 2 cents on this would be to wait for a sale and then purchase Khaos Reigns DLC if you have the base game MK1 already. Because, in my personal opinion, it does not justify the price. It should have been half of what they are charging for it right now. What are your thoughts? Please let me know in the comment section. And if you've liked this content, please let me know in the comment section if you have by giving a like to this video. And also subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. It's a wrap for this one, and I will see you lovely folks in my next video. Until that time, I'll say take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.